Are you curious what to plant in the fall time, what's safe, and what to avoid? Stick around as I answer the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you on Monday through Friday, each and every week. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk about properties that are new to the market, been on the market, and had a price reduction or something unique about the property I want to share with you guys and want you all to know. I also recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every week. This week is going to be no exception. And I answer a question of the day that is submitted by you, the viewers. And if you want to find out how you could be a sponsor of the week or get your question answered on the show, stick around till the end of the episode. Before we get into it, if you guys are watching this on Facebook, make sure you comment hashtag live or hashtag replay so I know how you're watching this. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and turn on the bell notifications so as I drop videos and content, you can come in here and check it out. If you were listening to this on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, make sure you leave me a review. 5 stars preferred. Help a brother out. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you'd like to see and what I can improve on. Property we are talking about today has lake views. That's right, not in Lakeview, has lake views. The address is 22480 Vassar Drive in Vassar, so just down the road a little ways. It's a 3-bed, 3-bath home. It's got 2,393 square feet of finished space. It has a 3-car garage, 2-car attached, 1 detached. Currently listed at $269,000, courtesy of Liberty Real Estate. This house, what's unique about it, not just the lake views, it is a complete remodel, roof to basement. They've added a porch, the kitchens, they've gone with granite countertops in the kitchen. The master bathroom has onyx countertops in it, which is very unique, very cool. There's no work to be done in this house. All you got to do is just simply move in. In the master, it's got walk-in closet. It's got its own bath. I mentioned the porches that were added. One of those is screened in and covered as well. It's got a fully finished basement. Has walkout basement as well. There's tons to cover in this, and look at this house. It is awesome, and you can see the lake from the deck from the property. So just click on the link in the description. It's going to take you right to my website. From there, you can check out the pictures for yourself. If you have any questions, all you got to do, contact me right through the website. I'm happy to answer any questions I can for you about the property. And if there's not a question that I know or not an answer I have about the property, I can always call the agent and get the answer for you. No problem. Before we get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is the gym. Just reminding you that the gym, great place to hang out. Been there myself multiple times, and you ever need to get your curls in, you can get your 12, 16, 27-ounce curls in as many as you can safely do. They do also want me to remind you to drink responsibly, use taxi, call Uber if needed. Also, just a quick note, they are looking for some part-time bartenders. Preferably, they need at least one, would prefer 2. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of Matt at the gym. I've included a link in the description. It's going to take you right to the gym's Facebook page, and that's the best way to get a hold of them. They've got their website there. They've got their contact information there. They post any type of updates like the current openings for bartenders. So make sure you guys check them out. Like I said, I've been there myself. Great place. Just a nice atmosphere. Damn near everybody knows who you are as you come in there. So it is absolutely incredible. Make sure you go check it out for yourself. Question of the day. Before I answer the question of the day, I do want to just thank everybody who has submitted a question. I greatly appreciate it because each and every question that I answer for a little over a year now is submitted or has been submitted by a viewer of the show, listener to the podcast. If you want to get your question on the show, if you have a question about real estate, all you got to do is shoot me a message through Facebook or contact me right through my website. I would be happy to answer your question and get it on the show as well. So, question of the day: what should I plant during the fall, and when is a good time to plant? Uh, this is actually a great question, not only for me to answer, but for me to kind of listen to and adhere to as well. Because who doesn't love the fall? The weather's cooling down, the leaves are turning, there's colors everywhere. It's absolutely beautiful. And fall is very much like a reverse spring. Stay with me. Everything is winding down, winter is approaching. People that are normally outside people, like my wife and I, uh, or gardeners, it's kind of a sad time. However, fall can be a great time to prep for an early start in the spring because you've got time to lay out your groundwork for your spring plants as well as your gardening. So today what we're going to talk about and discuss are 3 tips for fall planting. So number 1, what we're going to first talk about is what to plant, what you can safely plant and get away of, because fall can be a tricky time of year to plant because, depending on where you live, fall plants are really going to vary. So what I'm going to talk about today is mostly what we can get away with here in Kansas and what really seems to work. Generally, areas that are cold enough to frost or freeze allow a number of different plants to thrive. For example, spring bulbs, perennials, shrubs, and trees. For spring bulbs, in the fall, you can actually plant tulips, daffodils, lilies, and irises. These are great choices because they typically don't need to be lifted. I don't know what that means. My wife explained this to me. The only thing she said is they don't have to be lifted, meaning they can just be planted right before the frost hits. So whatever that means. If you know what that means, more power to you. That's just what she explained to me. Uh, and of course, these types of flowers really look great in the springtime when the weather warms up and ground warms up again. The perennials, these have a huge range that you can plant, especially that'll do well here in Kansas. There's bleeding hearts, chrysanthemums, whatever those are, uh, asters, and hostas. I think my wife just gave me some. I think she just made this shit up and was like, "Ah, let's see if I can get him to say this or pronounce this on the show." I don't know if these are real or not. I probably should have Googled it. But these not only are good to plant in the fall, these will give you a great end of year color around the house. And of course, because they are perennials, they are going to come back year after year. So that's less that you have to buy, which of course I'm always up for. And of course, shrubs. Some of the best shrubs are going to be like berry producing shrubs, and the pyracantha. Again, I don't know what that is. She just gave me these. These have incredible fall colors and will change. These also, if you if you have a little bit of wildlife around your house, these will help provide a little bit of extra forage for the wildlife around your neighborhood while also giving you some natural holiday decorations. Pretty cool, right? And of course, trees. Most trees are going to thrive when planted in the fall. That's when we planted our trees, and this is generally the best season before the first frost actually comes through and hits, because this gives the trees time to establish roots without the risk of them dying out uh, for the season. This also is going to increase the odds your tree will survive by planting it in the fall versus the spring. Uh, Also, planting it in the fall versus the spring, you get to skip a lot of the major maintenance required when nursing a freshly planted tree in the late spring, early summer. Number two, when to plant. Of course, because you're planting in the fall, timing is going to be everything, and you have to keep that in mind because you want to make sure that you're giving those roots time to get established. It's not enough to ensure that the ground is just unfrozen and workable. You also need to give plants time to grow and spread their roots before they go dormant. Typically, the best site to determine your first frost date, just go to Google and type in the Old Farmer's Almanac, and for your area, it's going to tell you roughly whatever or the historic average first frost is going to be. From there, count back 6 to 8 weeks. Plant your garden, your plants, about that 6 to 8 week mark before what it says that first frost is going to be. Because if you plant them too close to the first frost, this is going to damage your plants or even kill them off. And you want to give them enough time as much as you can in the fall because they need time to repair their roots after planting, after pulling them out of the pot, and whatever you do with the roots. Again, my wife does this. I'm still in the learning process, uh, but she does something with the roots, and they need an extra few weeks to establish themselves before going dormant. And finally, of course, number three, protecting your plants. Fall planting generally don't need a great deal of protection, which is another benefit of planting in the fall versus the springtime. As long as they're planted, in a timely manner, you will need some type of mulch. Depending on how many you're going to plant, may need a lot of mulch. The the type of mulch doesn't really matter. Just ensure that it's biodegradable and can be piled on. There are areas, of course, depending on where you live. I'm sure I don't have to tell you this. Uh, Here in Kansas, there are a lot of areas receive snow and freezing temperatures. That is no surprise. Uh, because of that reason, it is recommended here that you roughly stack and pile about 4 inches of mulch around the base of the plants and the crown of the plants. This helps the plant retain moisture and insulates them to keep them warm and keep them warmer longer. Now, the planting them in fall, just know the plants are going to die back for the year and go dormant. When they do that, you want to add a little bit more mulch to give them some insulation. Ensure that you check the tender plants for new growth as the springtime comes around and temperatures start rising. Once you start to see that new growth happening and uh, starting, make sure you pull some of that mulch back from the crown of the plant and still leave the base and the roots covered. So that is what I've got. That's what those are going to be your 3 tips for planting in the fall. A lot of this information is courtesy of my wife, who is way smarter than I will ever be. Not that I have to tell any of y'all that, but so that's what I got for you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys normally plant in the fall? Do you plant in the spring? Wherever you're listening to this, drop it in the comments. I would love to know. And where you live, let me know what survives and what works better. Did some of just the general plants that I named that work here in the Kansas area, is that the same thing that you guys plant as well, or do you plant something different? So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear back from you. That's what I got for you guys today in the hot list. So thanks for watching with Matt in the Hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome Monday, and I'll see you back in here tomorrow.